So that was possibly longer than 5 minutes. But I also went a bunch of things, and I went to the shop across the road to buy some stuff. But I'm back now, yay! And now we're on this train to the end of the game, baby. Excuse me. So from this one obvious question arises, why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us the name of the true culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. I'm sorry, what? Sing mode? I didn't even know that was a channel points feature. I can only speak in a singing voice for 5 minutes. What? Okay, well, 5 minutes. You saved up for it. I didn't even know that was there. Right, okay. Well, it must be one of the default ones. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering, obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who is exactly guilty of murder. This is so terrible. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right, it's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? It sounds like Sweeney Todd. What do you mean? I've never watched Sweeney Todd, so I don't know. Alright. Oh, why does she? I know Sweeney Todd, but I never watched it. Oh God, I'm hot. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. And at its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. I can't fucking sing. I also have to if I had my piano available, I could probably do this a lot easier, but I don't. Either way. Because of its complexity, you don't know the order. You can't open the bear. You really can't tell it's a... You know what? Boom. That'll be way easier if I turn off the music. You really can't tell it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. And that's the end of the testimony. So, this figurine is a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Well, and we say, hold it. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you for the raid, Dio. Now, hello, Bathville, Whiskey, welcome back. Wow, you caught me in the middle of a singing mode. So bear with me while I spend 2 more minutes singing terribly for the rest of the dialogue for the next 2 minutes. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is it exactly? Well, hold Hold on right now, so you can take it apart. How would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn his tail to the right, and then push it in. Alright. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. But, ooh, this is most interesting. Oh, boy, and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So, what do you find after you take up the puzzle apart? 5 minutes are up. Boom, I'm done. Oh god, that was like the worst 5 minutes of my life. I hated it. I hated every second. Every frame of that moment, I hated. We're back. Saved up specifically so that I could sing for 5 minutes. Jeez. Again, if I had my piano available, I would have done a thing. Loved every second. I hated every second. Because of its complexity. If you don't know the order, I don't know what I'm reading. So hold on. Like I focused so much on singing that I did not pay attention. So it's an elaborate puzzle. Small cavity. Just another room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You can't really tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. We don't know anything about this figurine. So we should try and find more for now. Try and find out more. Oh wait, I've already pressed these say statements. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then, this was a present from you. That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. For Juan. So it was a present for Mr. Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So, who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with this bear in the same country. With the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can easily be broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same once again. It can never be the same again once it's broken. You can't really tell that it's a small jewelry box by looking at it. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. As long as the one never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? And of course that means Engar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Okay. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we've agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? The suicide note? That's what we are going to find out next. Witness. Yes? You are the only one who can open this, so please. There's a painful silence in the room. All eyes are on Miss Andrews. Now, as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. Click. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess what this is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Impax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautiful signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. Wait, so you knew the suicide note was in the bear? You knew it was in the bear, but you looked for the bear, but you couldn't find the bear because the killer had already taken it out of the room after the murder. But I couldn't find it anywhere because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note out loud. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In a note, Celeste Impacts left us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then being thrown away by Engard, about being engaged to Corridor and Engard's role in destroying that, and about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Mr. Impacts had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engard. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes, on the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Engard values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. It's Engard's fault that the woman killed herself, and this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible. What a selfish person. I guess there was... The fact that we're even still actively defending this guy doesn't make us look really good. Mr. The Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside, why are they still talking, was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Mr. Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry! Which one should I pursue? The note? Objection! Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Matt Engard killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Corridor until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I say that Matt could not have known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? Oh, yeah, we never saw the tape, did we? It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? Oh, what the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt Engard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Corridor, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on guard. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You. Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was stuffed in the bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hitting all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious Mr. Ungard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. It's got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Or do I? Hey, now, what's with that lawyer thinking? Phoenix, yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next? Have you figured out what you're going to do next? What I'm going to do next? This running away like a frightened child word. I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There was a piece of evidence that he should really investigate. Something he should investigate. I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think it's finally time we understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What is this piece of evidence that Mia is talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? Present evidence. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Oh, you got your objection, my guy. Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting things go this easily. You are beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something? I think you did this exact same thing in the very last case of the first game. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you should really examine about this piece of evidence. The transmitter. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I do believe some special examination is needed. But I do think the item that needs to be examined is the defense's grey matter. Whoops. Mr. Wright, after this trial, I would like to see you in my chambers. I think there are a few things we need to discuss. Yeah, okay, I fucked it. I was very confident it was the transceiver. Or the transmitter. Okay, so it wasn't that. Wasn't that either. Nope. I don't know, actually. I thought I was so confident. I thought I knew the answer. But I do not know. Take that! Take that! That's the wait, can I read the note? That is Mr. Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note is yet to be analyzed. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impacts or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't be seriously suggesting, Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve this solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Ooh, Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so that you could use it to frame Matt Ungard. I believe that she really didn't. But we have to attack this poor girl in order to prolong the trial. And I don't think Edgeworth likes it. Right? If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. I refuse. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented the you were the one who presented the scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution, which it always should be. Which it always should be. Thank you. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It is as the defense stated. The handwriting is yet to be analyzed. He hated it. If that's the case, it seems yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate handwriting analysis my butt. That's the lawyer trying to buy more time. And God is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, 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 guilty. Well. Is that the call? Hey, yo! Gumshoe? What is it? What is with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what else to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way I could make it up to. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found this Howdite, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. Don't tell me we don't. We don't have any more. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh, what is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after... Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch. Yeet! Take that! I love it. Mr. Edgeworth, please, you've got to buy some more time. Court is in session. So that was rude, but I feel like he heard the message and was like, okay, I got you, bro, but you can't outwardly say that. I'm sorry, Your Honor, you were saying. Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm reluctant to do this, however. It appears I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. Oh, shit, again. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Don't.
Objection!
Yeah. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We could perform the necessary test on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, the court will now take a 30-minute recess, but be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Shit, man. It's all popping up, popping off. Like, he literally does owe Maya as well. Like, he literally owes Maya, so... The killer, it looks like he got away again. 30 minutes, we can't find her in that time. Report. Ah, is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time to spit it out. Right, it looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he'd left with me right now and I'm on my way over. That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. My hunk of car, I'd say I'd be there in about 20 minutes. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. All right, let's get in here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the red stops and running out. I'm running every red light. Items left behind by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. Hey, Gumshoe? Hey, Gumshoe? Hey, yo, you okay? Sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry up and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. Not like this. I know. Oh, man. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why did he have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There must be a way, but let me say there's no way. I can't think of anything. I see, alright. I'll try and think of something on my end. No, I don't like this. Oh, let's say there is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out through the radio transceiver. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It was wrong. We can find out where he is through the camera. Not the camera, because we have it. We can find out through... I don't know. I don't know. Take that! Take Is there a way? What if the save reload is canon and Wright is only a good lawyer because he time travels? I feel like Caleb City did like a skit based on that. Like being able to also save and reload. I don't think there is a way, you know. Through this. I tried the transceiver, that was the first one I tried.
Take that!
It would be an item, wouldn't it? Like a camera? It would be funny if there wasn't. I strongly believe there isn't. I strongly believe... Oh. I don't think there is, you know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there is. I'm gonna give up for now and make a separate save. I could try. Hey, Nabil, busy today. I can't catch this. Oh no, but we're at the final, most definitely final one. But it's okay if you're busy. Thank you for dropping in to say so. It could be a person. We'll try. I mean, it's because he says through this and not specifically this person, but let's try. Yeah, Matt didn't work. I like genuinely don't know. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and even using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. I tried the transceiver, didn't work. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? I've made a separate save, so if I do figure it out, I can go back. Yes, bailiff, there's a phone call for you. They said it was extremely urgent. They've probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Oh, that was the halfway point. We're finishing it today. If it means another 2 hours, then so be it. But we're finishing it. I'm also very hot, This is very hot. So I'm gonna put on like a tank top. So be right back. Man, I sure hope there's no extra trial for real. Like for real, I hope there's not. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, he's rattled. What's going on? There's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell us the results of the handwriting. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? Oh, we were spitballing. We didn't really actually think it was a forgery. This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It's a fake. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Impax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Juan Corridor. Corridor? Well, it looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so that fact remained unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Engard had no idea the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Present evidence. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution is proving up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engard to not have known it was a fake because of the camera. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. You kids nowadays with your fancy toys. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Engard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Alright, so then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. In the prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was, it suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Corridor 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Hey, yo. Alright. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Oh, he hates it, as I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering. This is not like him at all. Franziska? No. This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder. That's impossible. Who in the... You mean our client? No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Other than the person who hired them. Yeah? Yeah? Shelley the killer himself. You mean the killer? The assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it's really all right to do this. Very well. Then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and the occupation, please. What? Is that my transceiver? No. What? It's even like bouncing and ting. My name is Shelly the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. What is going on here, Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was just delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So, in the first game, I had to, like, cross-examine a parrot. In this game, I have to cross-examine a radio. And this is why we like Phoenix Wright. This is why we like the series, apparently, right? Because it's completely bonkers in completely unexpected ways like this. I cannot believe this. Well then, I mean, sure, why not, I guess. We're here for... Oh, I should be drinking. Okay. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. Yeah, hey, yo, what the fuck? Maya? Maya! Voice, Mr. Wright, could you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objection to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer. Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well then, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness, there is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida, correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelly the Killer. What is he going to say? There is something I must state first. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give my name of my client. He seems to be a clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about his trust between his clients and himself? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross the witness? There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. There is some... Oh yeah, okay. Well, let's go to the end, see what they... I don't really care all about this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience. Try and calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. Well, it appears this is one bit witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about Miss Maya's situation. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a very fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you are testifying in this manner. It is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough. Please, no more. Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I am here today in this witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the... this person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who just spoke now, excuse me, but would you care to die? It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. The egomaniac? That's so not good for your health to be so aggravating. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. So what? I've pressed everything. Yeah, something about breaking the rules. A person who frames another person is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person. I have no trust relationship with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You've made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Now then, I do believe it's time I revealed the name of my client. Don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, then I will. Witness. What is the name of the client who requested the murder of Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Every time he has that expression, like, you know, when his hands are in his head, he looks so defeated, and usually he's such a happy-go-lucky guy. Like, he only acts like this when it's, like, really bad. Like, it's fucked. Like, super fucked. Whoop! There it is. I shouldn't have been surprised, because the only person that we know of who tried to frame another for the crime was Adrian Andrews. I shouldn't be surprised.